Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with the next session in the Alpha Wolf Personal Development and Expansion series. And this session's all about understanding altering behaviors or behavioral outcomes through conditioning associated meanings or meaning. And this practice that I've created within myself, for myself, around understanding that if I want to alter and shift my behaviors, it's not through trying to focus in on those behaviors and change those behaviors because I'm a bad boy. It's about understanding associated meaning, and the meaning is the link between the behavior and the outcomes that I get. So this is among any negative or positive behavior. So should I want to instill positive behaviors, it's through the conditioning in the associated meaning to that behavior and those positive outcomes that I want to get. Okay, so we notice that on the negative side of it, if I'm trying to remove behaviors that I deem as negative and I don't want those negative outcomes anymore, all I'm doing is associating the meaning of those negative outcomes to that behavior. Just to the same, if I want the positive, I'm associating the meaning to the behavior and the outcome. Okay, so we understand this in context of, for example, if we were looking at like weight loss and exercise. So an important thing to understand is it's not the activity of exercising that alters our behavior to exercise more. It's when we understand the sort of association between feeling good, feeling energized, feeling healthy, and the exercise or the activity that we're taking. This is how we ingrain and shape the behavioral outcomes. So when we understand this, we understand that while the behavior is very important, it's the meaning associated to the outcome that ingrains either the motivation and the momentum and that feeling good about it, or it is the meaning that creates the understanding of the negative aspects of my behavior. So, like a thing to understand is should I go around and yell at people and be nasty and mean to people if all I focus on is the activity of being nasty and mean? Like I can find a million ways to justify why that's acceptable. Like that's why people are that way, is because they justify it's acceptable. They said this, they did this, they should have done that. When we understand that, do I feel good as a result of being nasty to other people? Do I feel good when I speak bad of other people? Does that make me feel good? Do I enjoy the outcome of potentially hurting someone's feelings, of making someone upset, of being that aspect or that negative aspect of my emotions, of my enacted behavior? So it's very important to understand that the power that influences and dictates our behavior is the meaning behind how our behavior makes us feel in terms of the results that we get. So should I exercise and I associate the meaning of feeling good and empowered by exercising, I'm now motivated to take more activity or actions towards exercising because I enjoy the feeling or the sensation of feeling motivated and empowered and healthy and all of this. So we understand that it is through the reinforcement or the conditioning of us associating the meaning to the outcome. So the meaning of the outcome to the behavior. And this is very important because this is what we're looking for when we're trying to shape and alter our behaviors in terms of reducing negative behaviors we take or increasing positive behaviors that we take. Okay, is the meaning of the outcome. Like, what does the outcome mean to me? And we're conditioning it in, and it's through positive reinforcement. So every time, and we can do negative reinforcement as well. So, for example, if I'm trying to reduce, like I did, so I'll tell you a story. So, when I was giving up alcohol and reducing alcohol, it wasn't that I just decided one day to stop drinking. I negatively reinforced like the negative sensations or the negative feelings, physical feelings that alcohol created within me. So, for example, I associated and conditioned in the meaning that drinking alcohol makes me feel dehydrated. And then I reinforced that through conditioning so that every time I drank alcohol, I started to feel dehydrated and I needed to drink water. It felt uncomfortable physically to the point now where I cannot stand drinking alcohol, so to speak, because it just makes me feel dehydrated. So I start to feel like not physically well. And this isn't to say, for thousands of years, people only ever drank alcohol. Do you know what I mean? In ancient times, alcohol, up until like the 1500s, alcohol was like beer was the most pure form of water because it was distilled. But we understand that what we are doing is creating a psychological structure or a narrative that as I'm drinking alcohol, I'm associating it with making me feel dehydrated and I'm creating the sensation of feeling dehydration. Just to the same, okay, when I exercise, I associate exercising as building muscle and I condition in that meaning that as I feel like I'm becoming more and more tired as I exert myself, I feel my muscles growing. Do you sort of understand? Like, we're not out here saying that, I can feel every movement of my muscle. I can feel the development of my muscle. I am this superior being. No, I'm convincing myself that when I take the activity of exercising, I am building my muscle. So I am creating through conditioning a placebo effect because essentially that's all we're doing. So what we're doing is we are identifying physical sensations we have already felt, i.e., when I exercise and the next day I feel my muscles torn and I feel like I'm in pain, like that is the recovery of those muscles developing. So I'm associating that feeling that I've already felt while I'm exercising. That feeling of I'm going to feel like in a day or two that I am stronger, that my muscles are repaired, that they're growing and all of this. So it's this very important understanding that while we are basing the meaning of the outcome, okay, in physical sensations or mental sensations that we have, or emotional sensations, okay. But what we are doing is we are creating placebo effects while we take the activity. So, like, you could argue with the alcohol that when I'm drinking alcohol, I am becoming more dehydrated, but I'm drinking a liquid. So, how can I feel dehydrated while I'm drinking a liquid? Do you sort of get it? So, what I'm creating is a placebo effect of feeling dehydrated, even though I'm hydrating, so to speak. Like, sugars, alcohol, all this dehydrates you. So, we can argue that we are becoming more dehydrated as we drink alcohol. But regardless, The other thing I did for alcohol is I focused in on the sensation and feeling of the hangover, so that as I drank, I would remember and recall the meaning or the memories associated to being hungover. And what this does is this amplifies through either positive or negative reinforcement of every time I take a sip, I think about the last time I was hungover and how I felt. And I really amplify that feeling through reinforcing it in every sip to really become a powerful belief. Okay. So that's what we're doing when we're trying to alter and shift our behavior is we are utilizing the power of our belief that if I believe I'm becoming dehydrated as I drink alcohol, I feel the physical sensation of becoming dehydrated. I feel thirstier. I start to crave water. Like I'm creating a psychological structure within my mind that as I drink alcohol, I have a compulsion to drink water because I'm creating a belief that I'm becoming dehydrated and thirsty. So I start to feel the physical sensation of thirst. I start to feel thirstier and thirstier. And typically, I can get a couple of sips into alcohol, and then it sort of it loses its enjoyment. So that's what we are trying to do when we're using associated meaning and we're conditioning that to the outcome. Is what is if it's a negative behavior that I'm trying to change? What is the like outcome or the negative outcomes that I don't like in that behavior, and then I am creating the association of the meaning of them to the behavior or the activity. So it's not I drink, I drink, I drink, I drink, I drink, I get blackout drunk. Then I start trying to associate the hangover to it or being dehydrated to it. It's in the activity. So there's many books and tools that people have created around quitting smoking. And one of them, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it runs on this principle that as as I'm smoking and I draw the breath in and the smoke in, I focus in on the sensation and taste of that action while I'm taking that action. So I'm not sugarcoating over it and focusing on the nicotine responses and the stimulant or the social aspect of smoking and things like that. I'm focusing in on the physical aspect of the physical taste of cigarette, of the physical feeling that smoking creates within the lung, of lowering lung capacity, making me want to cough, creating phlegm, and all of this. And it's this that adds the power. Because in many of our behaviors, we can do them unconsciously. So it's to the same if I wanted, like if I had a problem with overeating and like, eating too much to the point where later on I become highly sick. Okay. I'm focusing in as I'm eating on how do I feel as I'm eating. I'm not eating unconsciously, like I'm creating a conscious process to it. Okay. And then we're adding the meaning that, if I overeat, we're associating that meaning to every time we've felt sick from overeating. Do you sort of get it? Where we feel bloated, where we feel, or nauseous, where we feel, lethargic, tired, all of this. And this is how it makes it very, very easy for us to cease taking negative behavior. But it also works on positive behavior in amplifying and making it easier for us to take positive behavior. If every time I'm exercising, I am associating the meaning of the activity while I'm doing a bicep curl, I'm associating the meaning to the feeling that I feel 2 days after I've trained, where I feel that muscle repaired and stronger. I'm associating the meaning to the gradual growth. So when I started exercising, I could only lift 5 kilo dumbbells, and now I'm lifting a 20 kilo dumbbell. So I'm really focusing in on that successional growth, that every lift I'm getting stronger and I'm able to do more and be more. So we understand the importance of creating the associated meaning and then conditioning in that associated meaning as we take the action, as we do the activity, as we engage in the behavior. And this is how we can create any behavior that we want and cease any behavior that we want. For example, if I focus in on the negative effects of overeating on ice cream. Let's say I eat a whole liter tub of ice cream every night, or every time I start eating ice cream, I eat the whole, bucket of ice cream. Like, we're focusing in on every spoon. So we're not trying to force ourselves to stop eating it. We're just reminding ourselves every spoonful of ice cream I'm having, how I felt last time I took this activity or this action, how this behavior made me feel last time. How did I feel? Was I feeling good the next day? Was I feeling good an hour later? Was I feeling nauseous? And we're really focusing in on that. And we're not stopping the behavior, because when I try to forcibly stop a compulsive behavior, I create negative emotional attachment or perversion to it. So it's sort of like, if I tell myself I cannot have the ice cream, I cannot eat ice cream, I cannot eat ice cream, I create desire within my mind for that ice cream. So we're not trying to cease the activity and say, I am never allowed to eat ice cream again, because then I'm going to create cravings for it. I take the action because I believe it is pleasurable. That's the thing we got to understand about our psychology, is we naturally move to what we enjoy in life. So what we are doing is we are taking the activity and reprogramming in from enjoying that activity to not enjoying that activity. For example, if we take smoking, if every time I'm smoking a cigarette, I tell myself how much I enjoy that activity and how much I love smoking cigarettes and how good it feels and all of this, how cool it makes me look, whatever it may be. Like, if I'm telling myself every time I'm smoking cigarettes how enjoyable it is, I'm going to create like a desire for it. I'm going to amplify my desire for it. If I try and force myself to stop doing something that I want in life, I have to give it up. If I have to give something up, why do I have to give up what I want in life? Do you sort of see it? I'm creating this conflict within myself, that I have to give up what I don't like in life. My life is constricted. My life is like restricted. So all I'm doing is I'm ceasing one habit and I'm moving on or transferring that habit into a new habit. So maybe I give up smoking and I start chewing gum, and then the gum becomes the habit. Do you know what I mean? So we're trying to cease habits, stop doing habits, okay, without having to transfer that habit. And the easiest way is, should I punch a wall and I create a habit of every day I punch a wall? Like, as I realize how painful it is to my hand punching a brick wall, like, it becomes easier and easier for me to stop doing it, because it's not an enjoyable activity. So we understand naturally we don't do what we don't enjoy. and we do what we enjoy. So we move towards what we enjoy in life and we move away from what we do not enjoy. So, like, the habit is a compulsive behavior or a habitual behavior. So, because I'm always taking this action to smoke and I'm doing these specific movements, and I'm taking, certain moments or time out of my day. So, like, for example, for majority of smokers, straight after eating is one of the most desirable times to smoke. When talking or socializing is one of the most desirable times to smoke. So the habit is what we are trying to cease and break through understanding how little we enjoy it and amplifying the negative feelings or sensations associated to the habit. So, like, for example, if I wanted to quit smoking, I identify and remember all the feelings. So, like, for example, I associate the meaning of smoking to the feeling of having congested and blocked nasal passages. Do you know where you can't breathe and you feel exhausted and you feel like, because that's essentially the same feeling as emphysema, that I just can't breathe. So if we focus in every time I'm smoking to that sensation of not being able to breathe clearly and that feeling of sort of the stress associated with trying to breathe but not being able to breathe and sort of becoming out of breath, it becomes so easy to quit. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, it's that negative sensation or feeling. Like, we all enjoy breathing. Do you know what I mean? It's like sort of hardwired into us that when I cannot breathe, it sort of it makes me feel panicked, even if it's only partial blockage to breathing. So we just understand that it's the association to the outcomes or the meaning of the outcomes. Okay. So, for example, as I smoke, the meaning is I can't breathe. Because if I smoke for 40, 50, 60, 70 years, the likelihood I get emphysema is quite high. And then I'll have that sensation of never being able to have a full breath. So we understand that it's through associating the meaning and then either amplifying it and creating a belief that every cigarette I smoke, makes it more difficult for me to breathe and more labored for me to breathe and lowers the enjoyment of the activity. Do you sort of get it? So we can do it with everything. Any negative behavior that we may have, be it from a physical behavior of drinking, of smoking, of overeating, you know, or it could be a mental habit or behavior of talking negatively to ourselves, talking negatively to other people, using negative language. If I'm using negative language, I'm associating the meaning to the feelings I have of negativity, anger, hatred, vileness, disgust, like all of these. So we're amplifying the meaning. So the meaning is just as I talk negatively to myself, the meaning is the sensation or feeling of anger, the sensation or feeling of disgust. Talking negatively means disgust. Talking negatively means anger. Talking negatively means vileness. Do you sort of get it? That's what makes it easy to alter that behavior, because every time I'm taking that behavior, I'm feeling those negative feelings and I can amplify them within myself. So, like, for example, drinking equals, or drinking means dehydration. Drinking means feeling sick. Drinking means feeling hungover. Drinking means headaches. Drinking means, you know, wasting money. Do you know what I mean? Like they were mine when I was giving up drinking. And it became so easy because I didn't enjoy wasting, you know, three, four, five, six, $1,000 on a weekend on alcohol. I didn't enjoy the headache the next day when I was hungover. I didn't enjoy the feeling or sensation of being hungover. I didn't enjoy the feeling or sensation of being sick, of being dehydrated. Do you sort of get it? So I'm not waiting until the next day to start thinking about this. I'm becoming aware of it as I take the activity or the action. So to the same, when we are trying to, you know, alter our behavior on the positive sense, as I'm exercising, I'm creating the meaning of exercise means feeling good. Exercise means higher energy. Exercising is, means healthier, means like more strength, empowerment, all of this. And as I'm taking the activity, every time I lift weights, every time I walk, every time I run, that's what I'm ingraining. I'm focusing in on empowerment, strength, more energy, more stamina. And I'm re-ingraining that through positive reinforcement. And when I'm doing it to lose a negative behavior, it's through negative reinforcement. So I'm amplifying on the positive side all the positive benefits of like really amplifying the feeling of empowerment, the feeling of strength. So, like for example, I'm visualizing myself as I do bicep curls. I might only be on 10 kilos, but I'm visualizing myself on 20 kilos. Like I'm amplifying that strength that I'm going to be able to do this. And then I could visualize myself on 50 kilos if I want. Like I'm using in positive, like when I'm amplifying the positive reinforcement, like it's like I'm not just seeing myself doing this activity and feeling good. I'm seeing myself doing 10 times this activity and feeling good. So maybe I want to walk a marathon. And that's sort of what I use in my exercise sort of goals to sort of in the meaning is that every day I walk or every day I exercise, I'm getting closer to walking a marathon. Do you know what I mean? I'm building my capability, my stamina, my endurance to be able to walk a marathon. And I'm really ingraining that belief and I'm amplifying. Even if right now, today, I have no capacity, like let's pretend I'm 400 kilos, morbidly obese. I've got multiple health problems. I've got multiple injuries, back pain, knee pain, joint pain, all this discomfort in the world. Like every time I'm exercising, I'm seeing myself as my ideal self walking a marathon in my ideal health. Like I'm amplifying it. I'm not just seeing myself as I am, I'm seeing myself as I can be. And I'm amplifying that up to create more empowerment. The empowerment of being able to walk a marathon without pain. It doesn't mean I'm going to be able to walk a marathon without pain, but in the mind, I'm not limited or restricted. So I'm able to pretend I'll be able to walk a marathon without any pain. It doesn't matter if it's delusional, if it's not delusional, because what I'm trying to do is make it easier and more enjoyable for me to take the activity, to do the activity, to do the behavior. So it doesn't matter if I'm delusional. It doesn't matter if I'm 400 kilos at the moment with all these medical problems and I see myself being 70 kilos in perfect health. Like I get to choose where my goals lie. It doesn't matter what other people think is realistic, what other people don't think is realistic. Just to the same with negative behaviors. Like I get to determine that every sip of alcohol makes me feel dehydrated to the point where now When I take a sip of alcohol, all I feel is dehydration and it repulses me from further drinking. Do you sort of get it? Like it doesn't matter if taking a sip of alcohol makes you feel dehydrated or not. Like you get to choose what the negative reinforcement is, what the positive reinforcement is. You get to choose the level to it. You get to amplify it as much as you want or as little as you want. I.e., if I was trying to build my career in sales, like I'm allowed to see myself, okay, every time I make a call, every time I engage with a customer, I'm allowed to see myself as a millionaire, living my ideal life every time I make those calls. Like I'm allowed to see that. Does it mean it's going to happen? Who knows? But I know one thing. The more I take the activity, the better I get at the activity, the easier it becomes to achieve the goal. Do you sort of get it? So, like, we're not trying to sort of, know for fact that, the activity is going to do this. So, like, for example, for example, when I was drinking alcohol and partying and all of this, like, I didn't see a day that I wasn't going to be drinking alcohol because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed partying. I enjoyed getting blackout drunk. I enjoyed drinking liters of alcohol in a night. I thought that was fun. I enjoyed projectile vomiting. Like, I enjoyed all of that. When I was drunk, you can ask anyone. But the funniest thing was, if I ever started vomiting once I was drunk, I couldn't stop laughing because the sensation of vomiting when you're blackout drunk is the most enjoyable experience because it just comes out. Do you sort of get it? Like, I didn't see a day where I wasn't drinking, where I wasn't going to have alcohol in my life. But through the process of doing, I don't see a day where I'm ever going to want to drink alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see the end result. I can create whatever end result I want. And for me, like, I just got sick and tired of always feeling sick and tired of wasting my weekends drinking, sleeping all day, feeling miserable, you know, feeling dehydrated, feeling sick, blowing all my money, being stupid. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I didn't see a day where, where it was going to go the other way, but it didn't matter. It went the other way because of the practice, because it's the gradual step. So if every day I exercise and my goal, no matter what health position I'm in right now, is to walk a marathon, every day that I exercise, okay, like I am getting closer to it. It doesn't matter if I can do it, if I can't do it. It's a fantasy. That's what our goals and aspirations in life are fantasies. They're used to motivate us and create momentum for us to move towards what we want in life. Like, for example, I always had a goal to walk across country. And I did that late last year and early this year, where I walked 700 kilometers. I don't feel any different, so to speak. Like I don't feel this immense accomplishment for doing it. It doesn't really matter. Do you sort of get it? But throughout the journey, I learned very important lessons that altered and shifted and changed me. And now I am not the same. So we just understand like the end goal isn't the point. The point is the activity. So if every day I'm exercising, it doesn't matter if I'm going to be able to walk a marathon, if I'm not going to be able to walk a marathon. If every day I'm exercising and I am getting into the health and the shape that I want in life, I have already succeeded. Every time I take that action, I have already succeeded in walking that marathon 1,000 times over. So we just understand we are not trying to achieve things in life, we are trying to become things in life. Should I want to be a kinder person and lower my anger management and not be an angry person and not, you know, be negative to other people and tear other people down? It's not in the moment that I don't take that activity that I feel the empowerment. It's in every moment that I live my life being kind, happy, and joyous to other people that I feel it. So we just understand we're not trying to change the behavior to achieve anything. No one's giving us a medal. Do you know what I mean? No one's putting on a parade for us. But every day that we live that life, that we become that person, we get to walk in our own parade. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, every day that I am the person who I want to be, that I do what I want to do in life, that I follow what I want to follow in life. I get to walk in the parade. It doesn't matter if anyone else notices my parade or not. I notice it. Do you sort of get it? So no matter where we are in life in terms of anything, if I want to empower a positive behavior, it's not about the end result of me becoming this healthy person, right? If health is my goal, it's not about becoming a healthy person. It's about leading and living a healthy life. It's about being a healthy person. It's not about achieving a health goal. It's about becoming the person who I want to be. That if I say to myself, I want to be a healthy person, I become a healthy person. If I want to become a kind person, I become a kind person. And I know for a fact that I will become that because it's in the actions and the activities, in the behaviors, that when I get the urge, for example, to say something mean or tear someone down because I think, they're stupid or pathetic or something like that. Like, I don't do that because it's not where I want to be. So maybe I say something kind to them. Or maybe if I don't have anything kind to say, I don't say anything at all. Do you sort of get it? Like, it's not about this achievement of like, I didn't say something mean to that person. I'm this kind person now. Or I wrote a check of $1 million to a charity. This makes me a kind person. Like, there's no achievement. That's the thing. In life, we are all running our own races and no one else notices. We all battle our own demons. No one else notices. The point isn't for other people to notice. We think that that's the point. We're told that's the point, that if we achieve, like inner peace, that there's going to be this big parade for us. But the real thing is that if I achieve inner peace, I have inner peace every day. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. So we understand that it's not in the end goal that we put all of our sort of our our focus. It's in the daily and the momentary actions that we take each day, that we take in every moment, that create the person who is able to walk a marathon, run a marathon without pain. Do you know what I mean? So we understand that it's in the small actions that we build ourselves up to being exactly who we want to be. It's not in a big grand gesture of, if I had $1 million to give to people, I would feel exactly how I want to be. Do you sort of get it? It's like, if I give $1 to 1 million people throughout my life, maybe that's better. If I give $1 to one person, maybe that's enough. Do you know what I mean? If I give myself $1, maybe that's enough. Who knows? Like whatever it is, whoever you want to be in life, because that's a reason why we want to change and shape our behaviors. It's because we're trying to become the person who we want to be in life. That's it. We're not like, for example, if I'm giving up drinking because my partner says it's a negative behavior and I shouldn't do it, but I don't want to give up drinking. Like, I don't have to give up drinking. Like, who are they to say? Like, everyone has their own addictions, everyone has their own sort of things. Like, no one is perfect. So, anyone telling you that you cannot be or do things that you enjoy, like, why give up what you enjoy for someone else? Are they giving up what they enjoy? Do you know what I mean? So, like, we understand positive and negative are internal and they have to be determined by us and not by external people. We don't do this for the external validation of someone saying, you're a great husband now that you gave up alcohol. We do it because we say that we're a great person because we gave up alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Like it has to be internal to us, the decision. Because if it's not internal to us and it's external to us, we're always giving up what we want for other people. We're limiting who we are and how we want to experience our life for other people. So this isn't to say that, like, if I'm an alcoholic and I cannot go a day without drinking and I spend 100% of my money on alcohol, and if I had alcohol, I'd be happy. And, I can't hold a job because, I just want to drink all the time. Like, we're not saying that that's acceptable behavior, but if you enjoy drinking and you can do it within your life without it overpowering and taking over your life, you are free to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you get to decide in your own life what are positive and what are negative. For me, alcohol became a negative because I didn't enjoy the side effects of it. Like, I didn't enjoy doing stupid things. I didn't enjoy wasting all my money. I didn't enjoy feeling sick, feeling dehydrated, feeling hungover, wasting my weekends and all of that. So I had to work all week so I could blow my money on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't enjoy that anymore. That was it. It's not that alcohol's a bad thing or anything like that. If it became bad to me because I was living a life where I was taking activities that I ceased enjoying. So I wasn't living a life that I enjoyed. Do you know what I mean? If you enjoy drinking and you enjoy alcohol and you enjoy socializing and partying or, going out and drinking at bars and eating and all of that, like it's perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? Like you're the one who has the authority to determine what is good in your life and what is bad, what is positive, what is negative. If you are using alcohol as a crutch, and then you are not taking responsibility for your behaviors and you become highly aggressive and highly violent every time you drink, and then you go and you take it out on other people, that's completely different. Do you know what I mean? So we don't make excuses and we don't let ourselves make excuses of saying things are good for us when we aren't able to have them in within control. So it's sort of like we have to take accountability and responsibility. Do you know what I mean? That if alcohol makes me aggressive and violent and I don't want to be aggressive and violent, then alcohol's not the path for me. Do you know what I mean? If alcohol adds to my life and makes my life more enjoyable and I enjoy living my life and enjoying my life, alcohol's positive to me. Like however it is. It's the same with diet, it's the same with food, it's the same with health. Do you know what I mean? I.e., if you look at strong men, right? So as a side note, if you look at strong men, majority of strong men are very big and solid. Do you know what I mean? And they eat very large amounts of food and all of that. And, with their body shape compared to a bodybuilder, they would be considered as being fat. But it's like they're not. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like, it's just this understanding that there is no right or wrong path. Do you know what I mean? If you want to be able to lift 500 kilos, like you need a certain body type. If you want to lift 500 kilos and have a six pack, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just personal choice. So there is no overarching right or wrong. There's only what is right or wrong for you. So it's all about determining what is right and what is wrong for you, and then amplifying the right, the positive through positive reinforcement, and then amplifying the wrong through negative reinforcement, where we focus in on what we don't like about what is wrong for us in life, and we focus in on what we really like about what is right for us in life. Do you know what I mean? And then that's it. If we're able to do this, we're able to work within our own brain's wiring, our own psychology, to move effortlessly towards what we want in life, and to move away from anything that we don't want in life. I.e., I don't drink poison and try and convince myself that it's good for me. Do you know what I mean? Just like I don't eat fruit and vegetables and try and convince myself that it's poison to me. That's kind of stupid. Do you know what I mean? So it's very important to understand that it's like, if I go around and I'm drinking poison and trying to say to myself that this poison is, the healthiest food for me, or the healthiest sustenance for me, and the best sustenance for me, like, that would be kind of stupid walking around with a bottle of rat sack. Do you know what I mean? Or bleach, and trying to convince myself that this bleach is the nicest wine in town. Do you know what I mean? And then on the other side, like, I'm not going around and like eating an apple and thinking that it's toxic to me, because the way that the mind works, if I believe that healthy food, like an apple, is toxic to me, I can convince myself that it has the capacity to kill me, and my brain can shut down my body as a result. So just realize how powerful the brain is. If I convince myself that positive things in my life that are positive in my life, i.e., healthy food, if I convince myself truly to believe that it is toxic to me, I can create a placebo effect where my body goes into shutdown if I were to eat it. They did a study back in the 18 or the 1900s with guillotines, and they convinced people that their head had been cut off by a guillotine, and as a result, their brain shut down and their body ceased to be. They died because they believed that they had died. That's how powerful the human mind is. So we don't want to go around and sort of play around and be stupid about it. Do you know what I mean? Because we can accidentally shut down our body if we believe that activity we have taken has shut down our body. It's a wild thing. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one today, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.